Well, I'm not getting paid to do this today. I'm doing it because I actually know the guy who owns and runs the company, and he's been using tablet PCs as long as I have. He's as passionate as I am about tablet PCs and the environment. And you just know, looking at this product, the attention to detail, the quality of the build. You know, if I was to build a tablet PC, this is the kind of tablet that I'd want to build. And I know that Hugo has put everything into this to make sure this is as good as it gets, and it is. It's a really, really good tablet PC. I'm a huge fan of Steve Jobs. I think the man's a genius, and the iPad is fantastic. I use it everywhere whenever I want to get any entertainment or just some quick browsing. I use the iPad. But if you want to have a full computing experience where you don't want to have the limitations that the iPad has, it doesn't have full multitasking. You can't open a huge number of web windows without it crashing. So if you want that ability to have the full computer experience but with touch, then this is absolutely the way to go, because you've got the USB, capability, because sometimes you can only put stuff onto the iPad when you've got wireless. Now if you don't have wireless, how do you get stuff onto it? You don't. So that's why this is good. You can just use your USB stick, chuck it in there, whatever file, whatever photo, whatever movie you need to put on here, you can do that whenever and wherever. And that's the one real advantage of this. This is no compromise computing, wrapped up in this really tiny slate form factor, and that's why I like it so much.
It's so funny. I felt like when I had the V1, I was on the first, aboard the first ship going to the moon. I thought I finally got some technology that was really smart. It was, reasonable size. It did things that I could never do with any other portable device. It was a great product. It had resistive touch, so you could draw on the screen and stuff. And when the V2 came out, I couldn't believe my eyes when it got thinner, it got sexier, it got a capacitive screen, so it could, compete with the iPad. People that were kind of a little bit overwhelmed by the iPad. And I could comfortably, sit up next to someone with an iPad and say, well, this is the alternative, and they really took notice because it was very similar in form factor. And the extended battery life as well. I mean, its battery life is just perfect for when you're on the road or at meetings. It just gives a great life for that kind of scope. I use it as an extension of my capabilities as a web developer. I find that if I'm building a site, it's got to cover multiple browsers, whether they're a Mac-based browser or a Windows-based browser. I like to use the Mac to develop with, but I need to test the websites in the real world, which most users are using Windows with Internet Explorer. So I can have this device set up right next to the Mac to do testing instantaneously. I think in this day and age you can get locked into one particular system and find yourself in an exclusive group. I think that in today's world you need to be across all systems. That's why I won't have the same phone as with the same system as my computer, and my one computer is not enough. I want to be across multiple systems, so between having an Android-based phone, a Mac laptop and a Tegatech tablet, I'm also covering the Android platform, I'm covering the Windows platform completely. And I think in today's world where things are moving so fast, if you get stuck in one niche area, you can get left behind. I want to have every area covered. Well, since I met Hugo, the owner of Tegatech, I've been really impressed with the offerings that his company has. And when I looked into the V1 and eventually got my hands on one, I was just overwhelmed by the follow-up support by the company, and it looked after me if I had any questions or queries about the product. Then when I moved on to the V2, the quality of service continued, and they were always available to help me extend my knowledge of the product, and if I had any questions about the product. It's been rock solid stability-wise, and so have they. So I really feel like as a business tool I'm moving forward with the support of Tegatech to keep my business, on top of the game.